manufacturing process. So in this, it could be a part, or it could be a sub-assembly, or the final assembly. So in every case, we try to carefully plan and try to see the amount of cost involved at every stage and how to reduce that. At the same time, what sort of manufacturing process is going on? So is there any way certain what you call steps can be combined or certain steps can be removed? So you try to make it as lean as possible. So, and also with the advent of development of this composite material, you can also see now, instead of using the millions of parts putting together, you have a small number of components are generated using composite. They are co-cured or co-bonded. So thereby, maybe major systems are coming in one go. But yes, that is very complex operation, but it is possible. That's what actually the development of 787 has shown. The entire wing is coming in one part. So that is the beauty of the manufacturing and also the lean process. And manufacturing is a very, very important thing. And for those people who would like to soil their hands, and I think one can really enjoy working in that environment. If you try to see the entire aircraft, so the various parts, where are the subsections, as we have seen that fuselage to wing to empennage and other thing. And the finer part of that one is nothing but skin frame stringer we have seen. The important thing is what is the type of raw material you are going to use, how to finally get into in the form of a skin with whatever thickness, whatever the material quality you want, whatever the surface finish you want. So those are the things in what way you are going to do. So you maybe start with a sheet and try to roll it down to a skin, or what you call a thin skin to the level of thickness. So similarly, if you want to have a frame or a stringer or a longeron, you try to do with extrusion, or sometimes you take the sheet and reduce in the form of skin thin and try to bend it and finally get the stringer. So that depends on what application, where exactly that is going. Whereas if you want to have a composite, the skin, the frames and the stringers are put together in one go, okay, and then cured and finally brought the complete fuselage, one section can be brought as one piece. So this is what the current approaches in the manufacturing are happening. If you try to see traditionally, okay, or otherwise currently also, how much is the percentage in terms of flat sheets are being used, whichever material, it doesn't matter, aluminum or composite, it is going to be almost 50%. Then you have the extrusions around 25%. Then around 50% forgings. Forgings are very, very important, particularly when you are talking about landing gear. Or sometimes you are talking about the frames or the bulkheads where you are trying to get these ones. And also you have the window panels, very integrated parts you want to get, maybe either forging or maybe machining. That's what actually we try to do that. And a similar construction is also available in the case of wings. So in nutshell, in the aircraft components, you have to go to the elementary components and what type of material, raw material available, how exactly you mold it to the final form. So that is what the manufacturing, what you call, every stage will have to take care. So this slide is trying to give you in a glimpses of what is the manufacturing procedures we are trying to go through. You have the manufacturing process. So the process involved, one is you get the component, you assemble the component, get the final assembly. So that means in this process, you have a shaping process, then you have once you got the component, so because the component is undergoing various, what you call steps of reducing the material size, naturally grain boundaries or the crystals are changed. So you want to improve the material property. That's where the heat treatment, other things are required in order to improve it. Then after that, before assembly, you have to also clean it and give the surface treatment, coatings, etc. So all these are a part of your manufacturing process. Then comes whatever the components are available. So you have to assemble together to get your sub-assemblies or maybe major assemblies. That's what actually we are trying to get that one. So Then in the aircraft, you have these are the major component. I will try to show you one component that is the fuselage. So as you understand the fuselage, you have the skin, you have a large number of stringers or longerons, and you have the frame. And these are the elements, basic elements required. What sort of manufacturing process? Use the sheet, or you for the stringers you can use sheeters, what you call extrusion, or for the frames also sheet or extrusion, and you try to develop all those parts and then put together and try to get a part of the lobe that is actually the fuselage, a part of the fuselage. This is how actually manufacturing process is going on. As I said, during the manufacturing, your quality control aspects are very important. One is the measurement and make sure that your dimensional aspects are very well taken. And also you have to make sure that your component, interior, exterior, you don't have any defects. And you try to understand what are the properties involved. That's where the destructive, non-destructive evaluation, and you have a bunch of manual, what you call gauges and tools are available. So all those things you can use to measure regularly. And you have also computer aided, what you call measurements are also available, what you call with the hand driven, guided or non-guided. These are the things. Okay, so various NDT processes are very, very important in order to make sure we have a quality product available. So they are forming coin tapping is basically for sandwich constructions. Visually, a well-trained and experienced person can look at the surface and he can manage and tell that exactly what happens. Liquid dye penetrant, eddy current, magnetic particle, radiation, X-ray or gamma ray, whatever it is, ultrasonic. And what type of defect? Defects are generally happens on the surface. And very, very minute things may be there at subsurface, not at the core level. So the core level can happen only in the castings. Okay, so what is the threshold, what sort of operation, and what is the cost involved, all those things are going to be there. So one need to also, what they call, need to use this sort of information in order to understand the overall manufacturing aspects and quality aspects of there, so that the component what you are trying to develop is safe and safe to get into your assembly process. So these are some of the things what you try to learn through airframe systems. Okay, so this is in a nutshell I would like to give you. If anybody has any questions, probably I'm more than happy to answer. Hello, any questions, please? Am I audible?
Sir, yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Okay, good.
Students, any questions you can
If
put
you
in the
are
chat box.
students, if you are having students, if you are having any doubts, you can unmute yourself and you can ask the question directly also and put it in the chat box also.
Anything is fine, no problem. So whatever I have covered last 2 hours, you are going to, I will take up approximately 1 week. So the same thing is going to happen more than a month in the case of advanced course. So based on what is required for the particular course, we have segregated. So to that extent, you will have the advantage of learning more, understanding more. So if you don't have any questions, probably I'll stop at this stage. I will thank you all for your patience listening. Anything you want to add, Nataraj?
Sir, now the
Students,
next.
anybody is having any questions? Any questions is there? Okay, sir, no questions, it seems.
Okay, thank you, madam. So, thanks all
Thank you, sir.
the participants. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we'll
Next.
Now, I would like to thank Dr. Badari Narayana for wonderful session. I'm sure that students will make best use of it. Okay, so students, now you'll be having the lunch break. You can log in by 1:50 p.m. So the next session will be continued by Mr. Nicky Harris. Okay, so now you can end the meeting. Thank you, sir.
yeah, thank you, madam.
Timing, ma'am.
Right.
Wonderful session, sir.
Yeah, right. Bye.
Okay,
Please
everyone
log
you
in
can
at
end the meeting
1:50.
now.
Next session timing,
50,
ma'am.
everyone you can log in. 1:50. You can end the meeting
Thank you.
now. Thank you all.